Hey, there you are.
Hey, what's up? Can you see me okay?
Oh, yeah. Can you see me okay? I think I'm
Yeah.
a little in the dark, but I think it'll still be okay. The lighting here is a little off where I am right now, but I think it'll
Are
work.
you home? Are you in your office? What are you doing?
Now, I'm kind of in a friend's right now. I was helping them out because they needed a ride, and
Yeah.
it took longer. You know how that goes. They needed to go to the mechanics, and the car's not ready, so they don't have a vehicle.
Gotcha.
We'll
Gotcha.
make it work. We
That's
usually
it.
do.
Figure it out. Figure it out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So and actually, and what I'm going to do is figure out my studio. I'm going to play with this a little bit better and get the background, but it's still, we're in the intros and, my
That's it.
beginnings. So thank you for being part of this too. It means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be fun.
So
It's gonna be fun.
yeah. How are you first? How's everything going?
Good. Things are busy. Went out to theme parks yesterday with my family.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, my son is visiting from New York
Oh,
for a
neat.
couple of weeks.
Okay.
So we took him out there.
Okay.
Yeah, just getting a lot of business things done. I'm excited. I have a lot of things on the cooker, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
But things are moving. Things are moving. I'm happy. I'm excited.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you sent it to me, I apologize, but I'm just the intro. Obviously, we can cut this part out and then put the formal intro. But I might just say we have Coach Dave Della Rosa, peak performance coach, and then you can kind of delve in. And then later, if you ever want me to add a bio, I could put that at the beginning of this
Yeah,
too.
you know what? I'll do that. I'll do that for you because I don't think I didn't send it to you.
No, it's okay.
So
It's okay.
I'll put something together for you
Yeah.
and I'll send it to you for sure.
Yeah. Was there anything you wanted to make sure we cover for this today, or to
Uh,
discuss?
no, I mean whatever, however you want to,
Okay. Well, I
however
definitely
you want
want
to go.
folks to know how to reach you. And then if there's any
Yeah.
promos that you're offering or anything you want to entice up, that's all up to you, however you want to do that and
Okay.
adding value. I decided to call it Fun Health just because for me, if I feel just resonating with those words, it's simple. And if it's
Yeah.
fun, usually it'll get done. I'm working on 20-second courses, right? Like 20-second workouts. So
Okay.
it sounds like 20 seconds, but that's every 20 minutes throughout the day to get people moving. So I
Ah,
figure small steps, big changes can
I like
really
it.
influence. And I'm getting some people to do it. They're like, 20 seconds, Dr. Gold, I could do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the ones who usually wouldn't work out, and I know Reagan's been talking about the people that usually wouldn't listen to her podcast. Let me reach out to those folks. So
Yeah. Yeah.
getting more, if you can help more people, I think that's a wonderful thing. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're started the recording, which I was like, let me just make sure this works. I'll get started, and if there's anything else, please, chime in or anything. If you want to say add more stuff, let me know. I was thinking we'll probably try to keep it maybe about a half an hour or so, but if
Yeah.
things
That
go
works.
further or shorter, just we'll play it by ear and see how that goes too.
Okay.
Okay,
You
wonderful.
got it.
Well, thank you. Well, I am so excited for our guest for you to meet our guest. And your guest, it's Coach Dave. He is a professional expert in peak performance. He's going to share all the specifics of what he does. But I met him at Mind Valley, which was an amazing event they had in Miami a little while back now. And I'm just so excited to announce this person because we just resonated. He had this really cool hat. He was volunteering at the event and just, blending his support and just also providing me with a lot of guidance now on my journey to doing podcasts. So he actually was inspirational in getting me started here. So why don't you take it away, Dave, Coach Dave, and let us know about you and, share some stuff about healthy and getting well and all that good stuff.
I'm sorry, I lost you there for a little bit. I guess the technology is good when it works, right? But sometimes it's not happy with you.
Yeah, no worries. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay. Good. If it's not good, just let me know and we'll adjust. You can.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So I'm not sure if you asked me a question, if you wanted me to share something.
Yeah. So what I said is I wanted to introduce Coach Dave. I'm just so excited to have this amazing guest on our show today, Fun Health. And he is going to just share his Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Mhm.
And she's going to share his expertise. We are just so honored and blessed to have him. He is a coach in peak performance, and he also works with Mind Valley. So just excited to have him take it away.
All right. Hey guys. So as an introduction, I go by the name Coach Dave. As many people know me, I have a history and background in law enforcement for 20 years, and I've since in those 20 years of of police officer, detective, SWAT team operator, I've learned a lot of skills, and I've had to use my health and fitness to get me through those years. And now I've transitioned into high flow peak performance coaching
Mm-hmm.
in the after the job life.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is, in a nutshell, is I help people who are in high stress environments perform at their best and recover well and use the health and fitness and wellness um, to their benefits. So I help them with tips and strategies on how to access flow states.
Mm-hmm.
And a flow state is a state of consciousness where you are both performing at your best and feeling your best, where you're performing a skill that is a challenge for you, but you are totally immersed in the project.
Mm-hmm.
Sensory things are shut out. Time dilates, either slows down or speeds up, and you are
Mm-hmm.
completely immersed in the thing, in the task at hand. And so I
Okay.
help people access those things on a daily basis and implement those in their life. So this way they perform better. They can also minimize the time that they're performing a task or function,
Mm-hmm.
because the amount of time they do perform that function, they're so much better at producing an outcome, at producing results faster.
Oh, great. Oh, wonderful. Would you share some of your stories of success and like an example of how you do that? If you can
So
share a story.
I'll use myself as an example. Yeah. So when I started to implement these strategies on myself, I realized that I can get things done faster. Meaning, so for example, I was doing a research project
Mm-hmm.
on the impact of flow in the law enforcement world. And many times I would be distracted
Mm-hmm.
because I have multiple tabs on the screen, many
Right.
things going on, the phone's going off, this, that.
Right.
So I had the intention of creating this research project, but my
Right.
environment and things that was happening around me were
Right.
not conducive to what I was doing.
Got it.
So I started to implement the distraction disruptor habits, setting up my environment for optimal performance, setting blocks of time where I'm going to perform my work, and then
Mm-hmm.
also scheduling blocks of time where I'm going to take a break. So scheduling in my breaks was very important. And
Okay.
then moving, but those breaks are not just, all right, let me jump on my phone and answer a text or answer an
Right.
email or
Right.
go to social media. No, it's a complete, a break of doing anything at all. So I go
Oh,
outside, I get some sunshine, do
right.
some breath work exercises, I stare at the wall, whatever it is, to just create that break throughout the
Mhm.
day and then come back into it.
Okay. Cool.
And
It sounds
so
like block. Yeah. Go on. I'm sorry.
yeah, so what happened for me was, as a result of that, I realized that when I got back into my work, I was even more focused, and I was
Got it.
more like into the work I was doing, and I was excited about it, and I got
Right.
things done a lot faster. So
Got
my
it.
day was more productive because I've
Mm.
eliminated distractions in my environment, and I
Mm-hmm.
created a structure where I'm now performing things with intention,
Got
with
it.
focus, and that's where the peak performance strategies come into play.
Understood. So that's wonderful. And I was wondering, could you share one of your stories with any of the coachees or the people that you've been coaching? A successful story that you've been working with somebody?
Um, yeah. Well, I've been working with this one person. She is um, going through my coaching program, self mastery coaching program,
Mm-hmm.
and so some of the things we cover in that program are not necessarily peak performance based, but we deal with a lot of life structures, and we
Mm.
help optimize those life structures.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, for example, you have your internal, external, and eternal life structures.
Mm-hmm.
And how I define that is, your internal life is defined by your mental, physical and emotional fitness, your
Mhm.
well-being. And so I look at her life and break down how is her mental life? What are the thoughts that are happening throughout the day? What's her mindset like? How does she focus? Does she know how to focus? And so
Mhm.
we worked on that piece. The next piece is your emotional fitness. How are you showing up in the world emotionally? How would you want to show up in the world? Right.
Mhm.
And we create those distinctions and work through that. And physical fitness is just creating a daily plan,
Mhm.
whatever works for her, whether it's strength training or
Wonderful.
running, however that is, and implement recovery strategies as well.
Oh, okay,
And
wonderful.
so she started running again. We set a goal for her to do a 5K by next month.
Mhm.
Um, she's implemented these mental strategies in her personal and professional life, and the results have been amazing. She's
Oh,
been able
wow.
to really perceive things differently now. She shows up to work more calmly, with a different perspective of how to interact with um, co-workers
Mhm.
and bosses and things like that. So it's just the work I do really helps people to just show up in the world as the best version of themselves,
I love that.
and everything just starts to fall into place from there. And she's
Wonderful.
explained to me on multiple occasions on how she's implemented these strategies, and her life has just shifted in many ways.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
And has she done anything in particular? Like I know she's running the 5K. Is there
Mhm.
anything else like a light bulb has come off? Any specifics? Like an example?
Um, hmm. Trying to think in terms of her fitness, you mean, or
Or
just anything?
whatever. I mean, even with her kids, if she has children, or just her interaction at work, people have said something like, "Oh my goodness, you just seem brighter." So you're like, "What is going on with you?"
Yeah, other people in her life have noticed a difference. Have noticed how she's more calm, how she's more empathetic
Hmm,
and compassionate to people's struggles.
got it.
She's not taking things personally.
Got it.
If somebody disagrees with her or somebody
Mhm.
has a moment, she doesn't take it as a personal attack.
Right.
It's just a thing that's happening in the other person's mind that they're just working through, and so
Mhm.
she's able to approach those conversations differently
Got it.
than she used to.
Yeah. And I was just curious because you mentioned law enforcement, which is awesome, and just a lot of, I can imagine stress and work and stuff like that. And thank you for your service with that.
Thank you.
How did the transition happen going from there to where you are now?
So several years ago, I began with health and fitness coaching, and when I was still on the job,
Hmm.
because I was always an athlete all my life.
Hmm.
And what started my health and fitness journey, if I can go back and tell you what happened with my journey,
Yeah, please, please.
I've been an athlete all my life. I played baseball all my life. Um, I was fortunate enough to receive a full scholarship and play baseball in
Awesome.
college. And once I finished college and I didn't get a pro contract, my identity just
Mm,
shifted. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no
gotcha.
idea. So I was
Hmm.
lost. Ended up putting on a lot of weight, drinking and partying all the time. Didn't know what I
Hmm.
wanted to do.
Hmm.
So then the opportunity came to take a police test. I took the test and scored well. And fast forward, I got the job, got hired. So I was forced to get in shape for the job.
Right.
Um, and then I went on from there, started my career. So then I got the bug to start running marathons and doing triathlons.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I was excited for that. So then here we go, start exercising, doing that again.
Hmm.
And so I was doing my triathlons with the goal of eventually completing an Ironman triathlon.
Hmm.
So I was in my second year of doing triathlons in the Olympic distance triathlons,
Hmm.
and I suffered some back injuries.
Mm,
I had some major back pain. I was laid out for a couple of weeks at a time, and it was bad.
right.
And I couldn't pinpoint what it was.
Hmm.
Some X-rays and MRIs showed that I had some degenerative discs. I had some bulging discs, and that could have been the cause of it, but no real modalities to
Hmm.
to fix it or to help me with the pain.
Right.
And so the one thing that really struck me was the doctor said, if you don't want to be in a wheelchair by the time you're 50, then stop running and stop training. I'm
Well,
like, so by then I knew nothing about health and wellness and holistic medicine and things like that. And so I
mm,
just took it as is and said, I guess I have to stop because I'm a young father. I got young kids. So yeah, this is cool, but I got to take care of my family. And so that just, again, my identity shifted again. So now it's no longer this triathlete trying to become an Ironman. Now my drive to want to do anything athletic or physical at all just stopped again. So I allowed that to just cloud my decision making when it came to eating food. No more working out. I was just, I can't do anything. So I was just in this pity party for a while. Until my wife introduced me to this workout program. I didn't want to do it at first, but then she said, just do it with me because it's part of my business or whatever. I said, fine, whatever. And I jumped into it. And when I commit to something, I'm all in.
Okay.
Like I'm not a half-ass kind of guy. I commit and I'm all in.
Right.
And so with this program, I decided to just go all in. I ended up putting on 19 pounds of muscle in 90 days.
Wow. What program? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, that was so my wife and I, so she started with Beachbody back in 2000.
I love it. Yeah.
Wow, 2012 or so. So that program was actually earlier than that. So that program was called Body Beast. It was with the Beachbody.
Okay.
And so it's a bodybuilding program, weightlifting program. And it really, the best part about it was it taught me proper form, proper sequencing of exercises for the goal of putting on muscle.
Right.
And I before going to the gym, I knew that there was no science behind it, or there was no real way to structure your workout or exercises in a way to have a certain results. And that was my first introduction on how to do it the right way.
Gotcha.
And my back pain was gone. So what I learned from that was that I needed to build muscle around the structure of my back to keep the core strong, keep the lower body strong, to minimize and also eliminate the back pain. And that's been throughout my life. I mean, I've had some times where the back did go out again, but every time I realized that it's a matter of proper function, proper movement, in that area of my back and building strength.
Got it.
So then from there, I had the bug. Wow, if I can do this, then who else can I help to do this? So that's when I started my health and fitness coaching journey with Beachbody and doing other things. So to answer your question, what shifted me from police work into coaching is this, I felt like it was a calling for me. Like it came easy to me. Having conversations with people about what's their challenge in life, what's their obstacle in life, and helping them navigate that and see things in a different perspective, it just came easy to me. So then the one challenge I had as a coach was when it came to health and fitness, yes, people would have results and people would get better physically. However, the biggest challenge was their mental fitness, their emotional fitness, their financial fitness, and their relationships in their life, their environment, things like that. And I realized that when all those things are not optimized, it doesn't matter how good you eat or how well the fitness program is, if all those other areas in life are not optimized as well. Because we use those things, and if you're having a fight with your spouse or significant other, then you're not going to have the motivation to want to work out or eat right. Or if you have a challenging day at work and you're not going to want to get your workout in, or if you're not making the money you want to make. So all those things, matter. All those things played a part in your overall wellness. Yeah. So that's the things I started to look at, and how can I help people optimize those areas of their life so that they can have an, overall synergistic wellness in their life.
Yeah. So
be healthy in all areas.
Right. I love that. Healthy in all areas. What would you suggest if somebody is getting started and maybe they're working at a lot of those areas where they're not up to par? Yeah. What would you suggest? How do they get started? And then for recommendations for maintaining, I know that's a big thing too. You can, release weight, but it doesn't always, can sometimes come back to you. And then also with financials, how do you get that started, the ball rolling?
Yeah. So in my coaching program, what I help people do first is recognize where they are now and the patterns that brought you to that point. Right. So I ask certain questions to help people navigate those areas of their life where, for example, mindset and focus. Right. How many times? Who's ever been taught in school or otherwise how to focus? They just your parents just tell you, "Hey, focus on your homework or concentrate." Well, how do you do that? I don't know how to do that. What does that even mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, what I recommend people do is start to understand how the mind actually works.
Mm-hmm.
How does it function in order to properly learn how to focus?
Mm-hmm.
Bringing your awareness to a certain point and keeping it there, right? And this is through mindfulness practices, meditation, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
to help you really learn how to calm down the thoughts in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
bring your awareness to a specific point that you want it to be. Right? Whether it's having a conversation or writing a paper or doing an exercise. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you're in the middle of a workout and you're doing, let's just say, very simple bicep curls,
Mm-hmm.
if you're thinking about what you got to do in 2 hours, then you're not focused on what you're doing.
Right.
But to really get the benefit of the workout, your
Yeah.
mind has to be, okay, what is the bicep doing in this movement?
Yes.
I connected here and really bring it that small of a focus point. All right, what is my muscle doing? What is it actually doing in this movement as it is extending and concentrating and all these different things? How's my breathing happening here? How's my breathing working with this? Is my core tight? Focusing on the moment right then and there and eliminating everything else, well, that starts the process of focus.
I love it because I was actually working out this today and I didn't think of it that way. So I'm going to start doing that when I'm doing my powerlifting and I'm doing the deadlifts. His coach told me I got to engage a little bit certain areas. I'm going to start saying, all right, where are you? Thank you for that. That's a really
you're welcome.
Yeah, awesome.
And it's thinking about your awareness as a light. So where's the light focusing on? Where you that flashlight of awareness in your mind? What are you focusing it on? Are you focusing on the work you have to do 2 hours from now, or are you focusing on the concentration of the muscle and the contraction that it's doing at the moment?
Okay, that's good.
So that's where I start with people, is that recognizing how to focus and in the mindset.
It almost seems like a hyper focus, because if I'm, now when I was lifting before I heard this, I would just, go down and try to lift the weight up. Now I'm going to be like, all right, muscles, this is what we're working to engage. That's going to be a whole new ball game. So, and also my breathing, he gave us, but just to really put all that together, I think is going to, especially for folks to really be honing in on whatever workout they're choosing to do. So how do you have any specific workouts for beginners, or anything you suggest that they start with if they're just getting started with workouts, or maybe they had a little hiatus from working
out? It's probably going to be counterintuitive to what you're asking. I'd say 3 things to focus on, and I actually wrote these down because in the question that you asked me. First thing I would say is track your sleep.
Okay.
Track your sleep, because what most people don't realize with fitness and health is when you're sleeping and you're recovering, that is when the muscles are repairing and growing.
Got it.
Right. So when we exercise, we have to make recovery such a vital, important piece of the entire thing. It's not just about what you eat, not just about what time you eat, not about the workout. There's a billion different workouts and a billion different ways to eat, right?
Right.
But what you can control is your sleep. If you schedule it, make it important, make it the number one priority in your fitness journey, tracking your sleep, then that begins the better growth and repairing process of your muscles and body. Your cells regenerate. A lot of good things happen when you sleep. The neurochemicals start to change. And then when you wake up, you're more refreshed, and now you're more able to approach your day, be more productive, and also in your workouts, have more energy and power in your workouts. So that's the first thing I would say is your sleep.
Okay.
The second thing is, like we talked about earlier, is scheduling in active breaks throughout your day. Scheduling in those active breaks, because we don't prioritize those breaks throughout the day. We can just go from one task to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, without taking a break. And what you don't realize is you're creating a burden on your system. You're creating overwhelm. You're creating burnouts. So if you work for a little bit, take a break, work for a little bit, take a break, you have this sustained level of energy throughout your day that you can later on in the day maximize more out of it during your workout.
Got
If
it.
during your day all you're doing is working and non-stopping, and then you're eating while you're working, and then there's no break, when you get to the workout, your energy is just gone, and you're not going to have enough to perform.
Do you have a certain period of time that you recommend, like work for this period of time, take a break for this amount? And then also, how do you get back? I know, honestly, I'm one of those people, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get back to it. And I start watching a movie or I get sidetracked. And I'm like, oh yeah. It's hard to get back to work.
Yeah. So ideally, the time block should be about 90 minutes
Okay.
at the maximum.
Okay.
So if you for 45 to 90 minutes is a good block of time where if you're at work and you're doing a presentation or whatever you're doing at work, work for that 45 to 90 minutes of time, schedule in, like set an alarm on your watch or set an alarm on your phone. This is, and it's not a long break either. It's a 10-minute breather break.
Oh, gotcha.
Right? It's a 10-minute, put the phone down, put the computer down, rest my eyes. Even if you just close your eyes and breathe, take 5 deep connected breaths and just separate from everything else. If you can get outside in nature, it's even better. Get the sunshine on you, right? Get the fresh air on you. I know you love that, being outside all day. It's important part of our life. So just that quick break for 10 minutes is all you need to create boredom. And then when you get back to work, now your brain is primed to want to get back to work because now it's ready, it's refreshed. And creating those breaks throughout the day is important.
If you're cool, let's actually have all the audience, if they're able to, if you're listening in your car, just take some slow deep breaths with us. If you're able to stand up, let's have everybody stand up for a moment and just kind of shake out the body. If you're able to get outside, you can do this for a few minutes and then come back to listen to the rest of the podcast. You can put it on pause if you're reviewing the replay. Let's take all a nice deep breath in. If you're able to, just lengthen up those arms overhead, reach. And just hold on to one wrist and just reach all the way over. Oh, a nice side stretch here, relaxing the neck and shoulders. Breathe. Big smile here. Knowing that you are a beautiful light in this world. You're shining really bright. And bringing in all the joys in your life right now. Gently inhale, reaching all the way over to the other side. Oh, taking a nice deep breath. And a nice long exhale. I just self-adjusted. My body just cracked a little bit. That felt so good. And just gently open up those arms, reaching back. And then gently release. Roll those shoulders back. Yeah. Just for a few seconds. It's amazing that can do. Okay. Well, thank you for doing that. That's a wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. That's good. And then I know you had 3 steps. So.
Yeah. So the third one I would say is, and it goes back to what I said earlier about the focus, is be intentional. Be intentional with your day on a moment-to-moment basis. Be intentional with what you're doing on a moment-to-moment basis. So what we're doing is we are rewiring and training the brain and nervous system to create new habit patterns. So if we are focused and intentional on those what's the word I'm looking for? Those moments throughout the day that are just, you have to do them anyway.
Right.
If you start with brushing your non-negotiable, those non-negotiable things that you do throughout your day, right? For example, you have to brush your teeth, you have to take a shower, you have to make your bed, you have to get dressed, you have to make your breakfast or whatever it is that you have to drive. In every single one of those things that you do, if you're hyper intentional on what you're doing at the moment, those are creating those new habit patterns. So while you're brushing your teeth, usually you're thinking about the 50 different things you have to do throughout the day. But what if you just slow down and just focus on the tooth that you're brushing at that moment? And just how long do I have to spend on this tooth? 2-3 seconds here. All right, move on to the next one. And really break it down. That's slow and intentional. Each tooth at a time. Each tooth at a time. Same thing when you're in the shower, slowing down each body part. Where am I going? Right? When you're getting dressed, really be intentional about what you're doing when you're getting dressed. Making your bed is another one, a non-negotiable thing. Can you make your bed, but also make it better than you did before?
Mm-hmm.
How can you slow down? When you start slowing down
Mm-hmm.
and being intentional and focusing on those things that are in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
then other difficult things throughout your day, you can use those same habit patterns to now focus on those things.
Yeah.
All right. So how does that translate into your fitness? Well, when you start bringing in those patterns, when you're doing your exercises, now you're already trained up on how to have that mind muscle connection.
Mm-hmm.
You're already trained up on how to be intentional and more focused on what you're doing. And when you're more intentional and focused on what you're doing in your fitness, you're going to get more results, because now your muscle is listening to the intention of what you're doing, to the attention that you're bringing to it as you're working out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's a way to just, be productive with patterns throughout your day, and those non-negotiable items that'll just translate into every area of your life, and you perform better in many different ways.
Yeah. I have to say that, because honestly, I was the one who literally first thing in the morning, my brain's going in so many directions. And I realize now, even just placement for things, I ask myself, where am I going to use this later? So if I'm putting down my water bottle, am I actually going to need it for working out? So now, I knew I was going to powerlifting today. So I actually put my water bottle yesterday in the car. I packed ahead for the following day. And it really did help me, because I was like, all right, I'm already set up. Yeah. So if anything, it's already there. And then just being intentional with each placement or movement, not over being so rigid, but just if I know my phone gets lost easily, sometimes I'll think, let me put it down the same place, plug it in. And then I'll also, with my workouts now, have the equipment out. So if I'm working out at home, I want to do some abs. So the bench is out. So all I have to do when I get home is lie on it and then do my workout without having to pull it and maneuver. And it just takes more effort or more work. I'm working to make it easier to get healthier. So, and I have been slowing down, which is actually giving me more time, because before I'd be rushing and then forget my water bottle, or, go to the grocery store and forget what I wanted to buy and buy all this other stuff. So it's good. Thank you for sharing that, because that's been a big light bulb for me. I think we talked about that way back, and that's helped me a lot. So thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad that's helpful, because it's amazing how much more productive you can be when you're focused at the task at hand and try to do too many things at once.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, I just wanted folks to know also how to reach you if they do want to get in touch with you, and
absolutely
anything. Yeah. Are you taking new clients, or how that's working?
I have a couple of spots left for new clients if they're looking to, optimize areas of their life and be more productive in their personal and professional life. So you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm usually on LinkedIn more than anything, Dave Della Rosa, or at my email, dave.dellarosa@outlook.com. And it's spelled DELAROSA. Dave.dellarosa@outlook.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. And any last minute things you wanted to share with the gang, or any other little nuggets that you?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk all day, but
really.
The biggest thing, I'll leave you with this. The biggest thing that has helped me and my clients with maintaining their health and fitness, maintaining their wellness, is creating a vision of who you want to be.
Okay.
So back when I was doing the weightlifting thing, and I'm still doing it, but I actually competed in some men's physique competitions.
Yeah, nice.
And so before I even started, I put a picture in my mind, a clear vision in my mind of who I want to, how I want to look, and how I want to show up in the world. And I wrote that down. I got really intentional with it. Wrote it down in my journal. Got a clear picture in my mind of what my body's going to look like once I go through this process. Every piece of my shoulders, my back, my chest, my legs, what I wanted to actually look like. And I created a clear vision. And every time I did an exercise or I did a workout, that vision is forefront of my mind. Anytime I went to eat a piece of food, I ask myself, is this piece of food in alignment with who I want to be? Is this piece
Mm,
of food in alignment with the vision that I've created for myself? Is it? Great, I'm going to eat it. If it's not, I'm not going to eat it.
got it.
And so that mindset has been the thing that has kept me on my discipline, on a daily basis. Because it's not
Wow.
about what I'm doing, it's about who I want to be. It's the
Mhm,
identity of the person that I want to be, and
mhm.
nothing else matters.
Got
So
it.
everything has to answer to that. So that's something that I will leave you with. That's been the biggest change in my life and most
Yeah.
impactful.
Thank you. And I could feel that intention when you were saying it. Like, is this food gonna really align with who I want to be, who I am, that my vision. And I'm like, I could totally see you choosing that piece of food or fruit or apple or junk food and saying, oh no, 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 no. Just makes it a lot easier, I bet, to
Yeah.
think healthier options. And then obviously I honestly, when I was doing my bodybuilding contest, I just saw things with my eyes because there were, temptations. And I was like, my husband would just do it all the time. He'd be like, la, 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 you can't eat that. You really want that brownie. But then I was like, do I? Is it because he's tempting or do I actually want this? And
Mm,
it really did help to just say, what you're saying too, like what do I want for, it's like people, if they're going to their high school reunion and they're getting married and they want to fit in the dress. And it's like, well, if
mhm.
I eat this stuff over and over, am I going to be able to fit in my dress or fit in my tux or whatever it is?
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for those crisp words, because I can resonate with that. And I'm
Awesome.
sure the listeners can feel that passion from you. So I wanted to say thank you because it was totally an honor. When I met you, I felt your spirit and your good energy, and you just have a wonderful smile and a wonderful, essence and being, and just you have so much passion. So I know whoever gets the opportunity to work with you, and I feel so blessed to have done it myself personally, that they can just grow and aspire and get their dreams to come true as well. So it's a
Well, I love
wonderful.
it. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for this opportunity to share just a little bit of what I do to help impact the lives of others. It means a lot to me. It's important that we do this work. I think that's why you and I connected when we saw each other, because, like-minded souls just have a way of finding each other.
That's true.
You were a bright light, and we were just magnetic, and we just approached each other, and
Yeah.
it just flowed well. And that's why we're meant to do this work, to really impact people's lives. So I want to thank you again for this
Thank you.
opportunity, and whoever we can help, that's what we're here for. So thanks so
Yes.
much.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Bye bye.